plants and vegetables, al-hayat al-haywaniya, the life of animals, and finally al-hayat al-insaniya, the spiritual and moral life of human beings. And we went on to say that Hayat al-Muhammad is the hayat of sacrifice and hayat of humbleness and beauty and dignity. It is a hayat of honesty and hard work when it comes to the family, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, when it comes to husband and wife, جَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. When it comes to society, it's about justice and generosity. And we mentioned about الزيارة الجامعة الكبيرة. The Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam, they taught us the meaning of life, the purpose of life, the struggles in this life, the opportunities of life, and also about the real concept of pains and pleasures in this life. Imam Sadiq alayhi salam said to a group of his companions, he says, لا تتمنوا المستحيل. Don't wish for something impossible in your life. قالوا ومن يتمنى المستحيل يا ابن رسول الله, is there somebody who is looking for something impossible? قال أنتم نعم, you are the one who are wishing for something mustahil, impossible. They said, how? The Imam said, أَلَسْتُمْ تَمَنَّوْنَ الرَّاحَةَ فِي الدُّنْيَا? Aren't you asking God to be like comfortable in this life and have no problem at all in this life? قالوا بلى. قال الراحة للمؤمن في الدنيا مستحيلة. It is impossible if you want to be committed to your faith and at the same time you think that you are going to be comfortable in this life and absolute rest and relax. That is wishing something impossible. The Prophet, peace be upon him, he said, الناس في الدنيا ضيف. Remember that we all are like guests in this world. وَمَا فِي أَيْدِيهِمْ عَارِيَةٌ. Anything that you have, whether it's a house or family, your car or your house, money, whatever, position, prestige, anything that we have, this is عَارِيَة. This is like an amana. This is like a trust that we take it temporarily and we have to return it. وَإِنَّ الضَّيْفَ الرَّاحِلِ وَأَنَّ الْعَارِيَةَ مَرْدُودَةٌ. The guest is going to go and has to return the ariya, the things that was given to him by the mudif, by the host. At the end, leave and go. We cannot take any of this stuff that they are temporarily. So if we consider really that we are guests in this world, we have different concept than have ownership, because when you feel that you own something, you feel that really you own it, it belongs to you. But if you think that it's all just, we are a guest and going through this temporary life and then leave and go, that is different. Then we go to Hadith al-Mi'raj, important hadith that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in part of this hadith, talking to the Prophet, Ya Ahmad, هل تدري أي عيش أهنأ وأية حياة تبقى? You want me to tell you about a life that is a life of hana, means congratulations, something that really you are happy about, a happy life, a healthy life, a lasting life. Which kind of life you think it is? And the Prophet asking Allah that, please teach me about this life. This is the life of Muhammad al-Muhammad that we are asking. Allah says, فَهُوَ الَّذِي لَا يَفْدُرُ صَاحِبُهُ عَنْ ذِكْرِ. If this life doesn't stop you from dhikrullah, then that is the first step. So what is the mahya Muhammad wa al Muhammad? Number one, to remember Allah. 280 times in the Quran, the word dhikr is mentioned. That means that anytime that you face something sinful, whether an sinful idea, or sinful talk, or sinful action, or sinful gathering, or sinful drinking, or sinful acting, anytime that you face something sinful, if you say, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah, astaghfirullah rabbi wa atubu ilayh, that is the first step of the life of Muhammad and al Muhammad. Man a'rada an dhikri fa inna lahu ma'ishatan dhanka. Number 2, wala yansa ni'mati. I give you all this ni'mah, ni'matul hayat, ni'mat sihha wal afiyah wal amn wal ulad wal amwal. All of these gifts that God gave you, whether spiritual or material, don't forget that. Be grateful to the gifts that God gave you. Number 3, وَلَا يَغْفَلُ عَنِّي. Never حياتك حياة الغافلين, but حياة العارفين, حياة المعرفة, not حياة الغفلة. No negligence in life. That's another condition of life of Prophet and his family. Number 4, وَلَا يَجْهَلُ حَقِّي. You do not ignore حقوق Allah, whether it's salat, whether it's sawm, whether it's hajj, whether it's zakat, whether it's khums, whatever the حقوق Allah are, then you are ignorant about the rights of God. And number 5, وَيَطْلُبُ رِضَايَ لَيْلًا وَنَهَارًا. That if mardat Allah is the center of your satisfaction, the center of your celebration, by day and night, that is the mahya of Muhammad al Muhammad. Imam Elahi was struck by Ibn Muljam and said, what was his reaction? قال فزت ورب الكعبة, right? Even at that moment of pain, he's talking about reaching to his salvation. Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam on day of Ashura, Ilahi ridan biqada'ik. Even at that painful point in his life, mardat Allah is the center in his soul. Zainab alayhi salam, ma ra'aytu illa jamila. So if mardatullah is the foundation of our decisions, then that is the hayat of Muhammad and al Muhammad. Hayatul fikr, hayatul ilm, hayatul amal, hayatul haraka, hayatul mas'uliyya, hayatul sadaqa, hayatul iman wa diyana. These are really the characteristics that you don't see ego, you don't see arrogance, you don't see dishonesty and deception in the life of Prophet and his family. So when we say Allahumma ij'al mahyaya mahya Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad, then we have to remember how honest we are, how authentic you are, how grateful you are, how mature you are, how much you seek for knowledge and wisdom, how much you spend your time to reading and writing something that's useful for you and useful for the life of humanity, how much you are part of the solution, how much you are a source of positive energy for you and for the general life, for humanity. How much you are strong that you don't give up if when you are facing a fear, when you are facing a failure in your life. How much you spend time for your prayer in the morning. How many people stand up and wake up early in the morning and to thank God, to worship, to pray, to show their appreciation, to their understanding to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How much are we ready to travel from our comfort zones and face challenges and struggles in our life? How much we are ready to increase our actions and work for something good and positive, whether it's peace or whether it's justice. These are really the characteristics of the life of Ahlul Bayt. The Ahlul Bayt were not silent when there was something evil going on. They broke their silence. How much we break our silence when there is al-munkar, when there is something wrong, when something bad, something devil. Many of religious leaders we met yesterday in Detroit, in Hart Plaza, to break our silence about one of the issues that's going on in Detroit. You know that thousands of people in Detroit now for over a year, they do not have access to drinking water because they are not able to pay their bills. And that means they cannot take shower, they cannot flush their toilet, they cannot clean themselves, they cannot brush their teeth, they cannot cook and clean. I mean, if you don't have water for one day, you can imagine, and now make it 1 week and 1 month and 1 year. That is a real issue. And we are saying that there should be a way that these people are able, find a plan for them, that they are able to pay their bills. Of course, we all pay bills for water, for electricity, for everything. You cannot say, oh, I cannot pay my bills. I mean, it doesn't work that way. Whether you are here or everywhere, you have to. Everybody should work hard. لَيْسَ لِلْإِنسَانِ إِلَّا مَا سَعَى. And especially in this country, especially now that I was just reading this morning that unemployment rate is so declined to 3.7 in probably 60, 70 years. So there is opportunity. Sometimes we are looking for a guy to come and just move the stuff and chairs and tables and get good money. And we have a hard time to find a guy just to move the stuff. But now if some people don't want to work and say, oh, we don't have money to pay our bills, I mean, that is not acceptable. Everybody should work. Al-amal, al-amal, i'malu. Action. But still, we know that no matter how much people work, still there are going to be some people who are really poor. They are not lucky. For whatever, things didn't work for them. And there should be a solution. And this is what we're talking about. And I said to some of these journalists, I said, you look at the Defense Department telling us that from 9/11, 2001 till now, in the last 17 years, officially $1.5 trillion have been spent for wars, whether in Afghanistan or Iraq, in Syria, in Yemen, here and there. And despite of all this money, still 75% of territories in Afghanistan under the pressure and terrorism of Taliban. If you go with the other reports, we hear about $5.6 trillion of war expenses, but the Pentagon is talking about the minimum price of war in the last 17 years. And despite of all of this, what is going on? We know that those people who created Al-Qaeda and created terrorism, like Saudi Arabia, they are very, very close friends. Very close friends and very close allies. And they do whatever they want. You heard about this Jamal Khashoggi, that is the Saudi journalist. Then he went to the consulate, the Saudi consulate in Istanbul, and they kept him there and they denied. They said, we don't know what happened. Can you imagine? Now this man is like a famous. He works with Washington Post. A Saudi citizen. They feel the Saudis, they can do whatever they want and nobody can do anything. I mean, they arrested, they hijacked the Prime Minister of Lebanon and nothing happened. Can you imagine a Prime Minister goes to a country as an official guest and they keep him there and they, put him in their own jail over there? Because they feel that they have support from somewhere. If you heard what President Trump said last Tuesday, he was talking in Mississippi, and this is exactly what Trump said. He said, I told Malik Salman, I told King Salman, I told him this, we are protecting you. You may not be there for 2 weeks without us. You have to pay. You have to pay for military. He said, I told him. I mean, exactly this is Scott. So what do you expect from somebody like King Salman to يعني محيا محمد وآل محمد وممات آل محمد? Is different category. I wish that some of this money that they get in the name of military from this guy, they spend it to stop this water shut off in Detroit. That people are able to have access at least to drinking water, to take a shower. Because you don't take a shower, then there is a disease, and the kids of those families go to a school. And some of those kids are taken away from their families because the schools realize that these kids that are leaving the houses without water, they're removing their kids. So those guys, they lost everything. So the money is not spent in the right case, the right needs. So this is not Mahya Muhammad and Al Muhammad. A life that is suffering from all this injustice and arrogance and ignorance and ungratefulness and hate and hypocrisy and fear and fire and fury, all of these 10 pains that they are against that hayat and tayyibah. These are against the hayat of Ahlul Bayt. It is hayat of sacrifice, hayat of service, hayat of sincerity, hayat of morality. It's totally different. We have really a crisis of water. You know, it's interesting that we are talking about Mahya Muhammad, the life, and you know, one of the sources of life is what? Water, right? وَجَعَلْنَا مِنَ الْمَاءِ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ حَيٍّ أَفَلَا يُؤْمِنُونَ وَاللَّهُ خَلَقَ كُلَّ دَابَّةٍ مِّن مَاءٍ. Every dabba, every moving and living being is out of water. وَهُوَ الَّذِي خَلَقَ مِنَ الْمَاءِ بَشَرًا. We all are out of water. Like how much? Like 70% or 60-70% of our body is out of water. The brain 80% is water, the heart 70% is water. And now people in Michigan be deprived of water with all these lakes and all these rivers and all this, snow that we have in winter and rain. And this prosperity, people be denied from drinking water. Or there are people, because they have money, they can do all the israf of water. And we have to be very careful. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ الْمُسْرِفِينَ. And the israf al-ma', to waste the water, is one of the cases of haram act. And a lot of people, they go and take a shower and they enjoy the sound of water, like for half an hour. What are you doing? I checked myself today to see how much it took for me to take a shower. It took 5 minutes, right? I mean, 5 minutes still a lot of time. There are people that may take a shower for 2 minutes, but not for half an hour. There is a hadith that the Prophet is saying that al-wudu'u muddun wal-ghuslu sa'un. You may make a wudu with mudd al-ma'. Mudd al-ma' is something like less than liter. Like the quarter, 3/4 of a liter is a mudd. This is for wudu. For ghusl, the Prophet al-ghuslu sa'un. That means less than a gallon. Less than a gallon. To make a total shower. For some people, now, even now that we have plenty of water, doesn't matter. The Prophet was saying that just because you are next to a river, you cannot waste the water. You have to be careful, and we need to teach our kids not to do the israf, whether it's food or whether it's water or in anything else. and share the water with those who are thirsty. Man saqa mu'minan. This is from Imam Zain al-Abidin alayhi salam, and today is Yom Dhikra Istishhad Imam Zain al-Abidin. Man saqa mu'minan min dhama'in saqahu Allahu min al-rahiq al-makhtum. If you can give water to somebody who is thirsty, Allah would provide you water, a pure, perfect water from paradise on the day of judgment. You are able to spend some money or send some money for overseas those people who are suffering from drought, and if they can make a well or whatever, they can provide some sources for water. That's an amazing. So we went in Hart Plaza yesterday, and I mentioned both in the lecture and also in the media that is not right. That's not right that thousands of people in Detroit have no access to normal water in a country which is one of the richest countries in the world. And all these trillions of dollars are spent in war and here and there and all this wasting. We are not promoting laziness. We are saying everybody should work hard. But at the same time, there are some people that we cannot deny the pain of poverty. You cannot punish the poor because of poverty. The solution is not punishment. The solution is not more greed. The solution is not more insult. The solution is more humanity, more morality, more grace, more justice, more generosity. For people who have no other choice. Of course, if somebody want to abuse, if somebody want to be lazy, if somebody want to be irresponsible, that is different issues. We are not saying that those people continue to use the water without payment. We are saying to provide a practical plan that those people can gradually pay their bills, but you can reconnect the water. So inshallah, maybe we need to spend an hour khutbah about just this water as a source of life, both in physical form and also in a spiritual, from the water in dunya until Al-Kawthar, that how we can use the physical and the spiritual water both for progress and prosperity, and for civilization, for health, for safety, and also for salvation, and for a spiritual prosperity at the same time. So water is a source of life, but sometimes water also can be source of destruction. What happened last week in Indonesia, that this tsunami, that it was so destructive, and I heard this morning the final report was that more than 1,600 people were killed in the city of Pala in Indonesia when there was a quake in Pacific Ocean, and then the waves of this earthquake from the ocean hit the city of Pala, and 1,600 people so far they killed, in addition to many houses and constructions that were destroyed. Of course, sometimes we have the same thing in California, but because they have, and other places in the United States, but because they have sensors and they can check the floor of the ocean, and they can check every movement on the ocean or on the land. If they know a tsunami is coming, so there is warning for that. But poor people in Pala all of a sudden were surprised with the waves coming from the ocean in the high waves of like 20 inches and high, and they were surprised, and they had no chance to escape from the destruction. So we have these tragedies, but Allah also gave us this ability of scientific power that we can save and we can survive. So we can deal with these challenges and struggle and control this situation. So inshallah we talk about the importance of water as a source of life and what it means in a spiritual sense, that Allahumma ij'al mahyaya mahya Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad wa mamati mamata Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. The characteristics of the life of Ahlul Bayt that we talked about last week and today, inshallah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Inna a'tainaka al-kawthar fasalli li rabbika wanhar inna shana'aka huwa al-abtar fa ila as-salati inna as-salata tanha 'anil fahsha'i wal munkar. Assalamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi.